guys. I'm Jacob Alava. I'm an online coach here based off in the Philippines. I'm pure Filipino. So I'm a pure Filipino online coach and I've been doing this since 2018 and I'm very passionate about fitness, you know. So I pursued this career of mine as a full-time fitness coach,
Mm-hmm.
online coach late last year. So about me, yes, I'm very passionate about fitness. I've been studying this stuff since 2015 and I've been coaching a lot of people since 2015. I wasn't actually charging people by that
Mm-hmm.
time. It was just sort of like a passion project. Then eventually some of my friends who I transformed told me that, oh, you know, you could charge with what you're doing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
like you're giving results. So when I started this, it was around 2018, and so far it has been so good naman to me.
Yeah, how did it all start? Kwentuhan mo kami, balikan natin. Paano ka ba nag-umpisa with this journey
All
of
right.
fitness?
So when it was I actually graduated college from 2010 to 2014. So I graduated 2014, and just like any other fresh graduate, I didn't know what to do. But there was one thing constant in my life at that time, and it was working out.
Mm-hmm.
I was just working out, going to the gym, no proper diet, you know, no knowledge about these things. I just really enjoyed working out. Parang it gave me therapy and you know the happy hormones and all those things. So it was something that I looked forward to whenever I was down, whenever I was feeling good, regardless of what I was feeling. The gym was always there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So what I did eventually was, you know, I was actually with a corporate job and I was a sales agent for a time, but even doing those, I still ended up choosing, you know, prioritizing working out and learning about these things. So I knew it wasn't a phase. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
because there are a lot of people who enter, you know, into fitness that they say, oh, I'm very passionate about this. And they've been doing it for like a few months or maybe a year. Then
Mm-hmm.
later on, they fall off the wagon, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
With myself, my parents thought it was a phase, you know, because I was dieting, learning all about these things, buying ebooks, studying these things without, you know, without compensation in return, nothing in return except, you know, knowledge lang.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't we knew it wasn't a phase when after college from 2015 onwards, I really applied whatever I studied and I was actually sharing it with, you know, a lot of people here in the Philippines. So that's how I started. And one motivation for me, driving factor for me also to start was because misinformation is rampant here in the country, in the Philippines. Compared to, let's say, there in the US, you have
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of like resources and, you know,
Fact checking and
people
all
are,
that.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. A lot of people there are already talking about dieting, proper dieting, and the science behind working out and things like that. And dito, it not so much eh. Do you mind if I speak in
Oh
Taglish?
yeah, pwedeng Tagalog, pwedeng
All right.
English.
Sige. Taglish is perfect.
Taglish, yes.
Okay. So, with that, I remember when I was starting out, there were a lot of coaches telling me to do this, to do that, and parang for me, parang hindi tama to ah. So that was one of the motivations for me to pursue further knowledge into these things. Okay. So that's just a quick background.
Mm-hmm. And let's move fast track to YouTubing. Kailan ka nag-umpisa with your
Mm.
YouTube?
Actually, YouTube was just a little side project of mine. I started around 2018, but
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really consistent. So I was really consistent around June 2019. So mga 1 year na. So I was juggling it with a corporate job. So prior to doing this, I was actually working in a stock brokerage. No?
Mm.
So um, as I've seen a lot of people earn well on YouTube, and I was thinking of doing it from a side project to, you know, a side hustle to eventually something that could sustain me
Mm-hmm.
long term. Because when I was looking at the market, I mean fitness and Filipino YouTubers, parang wala masyado eh.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the extremes eh. It's either a really bodybuilder person or just like some guy who just likes to work out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be a little bit in between, you know, and kampante na ako sa knowledge ko nun eh. So for me, when I started YouTube, it was really, the goal was really to help a lot of people, share what I know, because I remember that feeling of not knowing anything and starting. It's very overwhelming at the start, but it gets easier as you go along. So that's one of my motivations, was to, help a lot of my fellow Filipinos, because again, misinformation here in the country is crazy. You won't believe what other coaches tell you to do in order to lose weight and things like that.
Grabe,
So,
especially dyan sa Philippines, yung
sobra,
standard is
yes.
payat talaga, right?
Yes, that's
Especially
the
the
thing.
ladies.
Yeah, they always want to be payat, diba? Parang paano pumayat, paano mawala yung tiyan, paano maganyan. But like in the States, I remember when my last visit there, parang everyone wants to grow muscles, diba? Be lean, be fit, be healthy. Dito, hindi. Sila lahat pumayat eh. Diba? Tanggal rice, parang ganyan.
Yun nga, iba talaga yung culture. Dito
Exactly.
naman, they wanna be thick. Alam mo yun, thick is good.
It's the thick movement. Medyo bago na yun eh, diba?
Yeah. It's crazy. And you know what? It's interesting that you said that. Kasi the reason why I wanted to bring you here in FIL-AM Radio is yun nga, wala masyadong representation ng Filipino fitness on YouTube. And thank you so much for being part of that. Diba? Part of that. You're welcome. And of course, dahil nandito ka nga, I wanna ask some advice. Kasi alam ko for me, and of course, yung mga nakikinig dyan sa FIL-AM Radio, especially ngayon na pandemic na, and we're locked in, there's snacks all the time in the bahay, alam mo yun, mahirap. How do you do it? Any advice for people, especially now in the middle of the pandemic, how do we kickstart and really be healthy with our food and of course working out?
So, okay. So it's going to be different, my advice, for those who are in the States and here, no? Kasi a lot of people a lot of the dieting protocols and training protocols that we in the Philippines learn is from parang Western culture, and ibang-iba eh. It's completely different eh. Like the food there is different, the gyms there are different, everything's different. So let's start with, for the ones listening in the US, no? I think gyms are open, right?
Some of them are, some
lang,
yeah. The problem here is that nung una, wala kami masyadong cases, chill lang. Pero ngayon, dahil nga chill kami before, tumataas siya. So we're closing. I know for California, we don't have any gyms. We don't have gyms at all. So yeah, you can go ahead. Just so you have an understanding kung anong nangyayari dito.
Okay. Sige. So for a lot of the people that I talk to, no, the common problem is like, where do I start? What do I do? Diba? And my suggestion is to either do bodyweight stuff, you can work out bodyweight stuff, or if you can jog around, move around, basically move more, increase movement. Any form of exercise is better than zero. Kahit yung simple walking. Believe me guys, I've gotten a lot of people thin or fit based off of just walking. And proper nutrition, syempre. Pero just move more. Kasi it's gonna lead you to a downward spiral if you stop moving. I mean, like, for example, day 1, you stop moving. Day 2, then it snowballs into this huge snowball of laziness. Parang ganun. So, my other advice would be, besides moving more, is to invest in equipment. There are a lot of cheap equipment that you can get. Like, I was just looking on the internet, ang dami ng mga resistance bands that you can get, or dumbbells, or at least a bench, things like that. An adjustable bench with dumbbells for those who work out. And it's important to invest in these things eh. Kasi you have to prioritize your health pa rin eh, despite the pandemic, right?
Definitely.
A lot of people stop just because the gyms are closed. And that shouldn't be the case. Kasi if you stop, it's going to be so much harder for you to get back. At the same time, you run the risk of, just being completely unhealthy, diba? So my suggestion for people who are staying at home is to get equipment. Kahit the simple bands. I do coach a lot of people na kahit bands lang gamit nila, they're making great progress. Because ang bands, it doesn't take so much space, right? So order some bands, get a mat, just follow a workout on YouTube. Just do it. Yun lang talaga. Because I understand that it's nakakatamad eh when you're doing it at home. It's completely nakakatamad, but you just gotta fight it. You
Very
just gotta do
true,
it.
very true. Lalo na yung mga nag-work from home, 'di ba? Parang hindi mo
Yeah.
na alam yung separation between work and personal life, and minsan talagang nakakapata. And I like that idea to get a band or really invest in those equipments
Yep.
kasi it's investing in yourself as well. Right? Ito yung question, the next question that I want to ask you, kasi ito yung lagi kong naririnig. Ang hirap mag-diet, lalo na pag Pilipino ka. Kasi Filipino food is so good. Diba?
Yeah.
At saka paano ka kakain ng ulam kung walang kanin? Yun talaga yun eh. Rice is life. So, any advice for me, for people that are listening talagang love ang Filipino food, love the kanin? Any alternatives, anything we should avoid?
So what I tell all my Filipino clients is that you address your family first. When I say family first, you have to tell them, well, you set a goal and you address your family. You have to tell them that you're trying to lose weight, and they have to, you as much as possible kasi sila yung support group mo eh. So, with that being said, when they are there to help you, pwede kang let's say, choose alternatives for your Filipino dishes. So for example, you like your mom's oily adobo, something like that. Pwede mo namang pabawas yung oil. At the same time, pwede mong iswap out yung certain meats for leaner cuts. That makes a huge difference. Okay? Now, that's just one tip, no? But you really have to set a goal, and you have to really want to achieve it in a sense na, okay, you have to be structured. I want to lose, let's say, 10 pounds in the next, 2 months, something like that. Hindi yung, I want to lose 50 pounds in the next week, parang ganyan. Not possible. So, yung mga Filipinos kasi, based off of just me being able to coach a lot of people, may mga hindi ako Filipinos. Ang Filipinos kasi, they love the quick fixes eh. Gusto mabilisan talaga eh. And I admit, no, in some aspects of life, ganun din ako eh. Diba? Maybe it's our Filipino nature, diba? So, just, focus on sustainable and consistent goals rather than yung gusto kong pumayat agad, ganyan. And, address your family. And when it comes to Filipino dishes, tweak nyo ng konti. Like, less oil, less ingredients. Yung mga sa tingin yung kaya naman without, let's say, yung oil number 1 yan. Or swap out the meat. Or sacrifice ng konti. Like, for example, take out the skin from your chicken, things like that. Once in a while. So, that's one thing, no? And one tip also for my viewers in the States is, I preach kasi flexible dieting eh. And it's a super small movement pa here in the Philippines. But it's famous. It actually originated in the States, if I'm not mistaken. No? So, yung mga flexible dieting, if it fits your macros, things like that. So, with that, sa States kasi you almost always have calorie counting with everything eh. So, just be mindful about the quantity and the calories of what you consume. Kasi syempre, that's the only way you lose weight eh. Calories in and calories out eh. That's energy balance eh. So, yung tip ko is to syempre, just be a little bit conscious about what you consume. And, swap out meats for certain things like that.
How important for you yung calorie counting? Kasi I follow Blogalotties, diba? And sa kanya, talagang sinusulat niya, may mga charts siya and everything, fitness journals and all that. For you, how important is it to count your calories?
For me, there's a difference between counting and not counting. When you count, you guarantee that you will be in a calorie deficit. Kasi let's say, in the topic of weight loss, when the topic of weight loss, if you want to lose a few pounds or get ripped or things like that, there's only one solution, and that's a calorie deficit. So with all the diets that are coming out now, keto, these paleo diets, all these kinds of diets, blood type diets, things like that, they all put you in a calorie deficit. That's what they don't tell you. So with that in mind, if you track your calories and you count, let's say, your macros, your calories, things like that, edi malalaman mo kaagad if susobra ka or not, diba? So it can be a handy tool. Now, for me, it's not for everyone. That I'm just gonna be outright and tell everyone na It's not for everyone. Pero, at least you should try it. Or, before you say na, I can't do it, try it as best as you can. And tingnan natin if it doesn't work for you. Kasi it will, for sure it will work for you, lalo na if you're doing it correctly. Okay, so I actually have a video on that. Is calorie counting for you? Will it be, sustainable for you? For some people, it's not sustainable. For some people, it's sustainable. So it really depends. So ang suggestion ko talaga is you try it out before you. I always give the benefit of the doubt regardless of what diet it is. Pero syempre, I have my certain way of doing things. Pero I always give the benefit of the doubt. If it works for a certain person, edi let that person be, diba? There's no diet superior to one another and things like that. Parang ganon, diba? Whatever works for you.
Yeah. And nowadays, parang marami na ring apps, diba? To count your calories.
Yeah.
Parang madali na siyang gawin. So that's good. When it comes to your cheat days, kasi yun talaga yung gusto kong malaman. Cheat days, what does it look like for you? Is it the whole day that you cheat or parang one meal lang? What do you eat?
Now it really depends, no. As much as possible, I never promote if you're in the process of trying to lose weight, I never promote cheat day. Kasi one day of eating whatever you want can mess you up talaga eh. And like all the hard work that you've been doing the past few days, tapos mag-cheat day ka ng isa, it can be outdone eh.
Yes.
It can be. Pero ayun. So sige, to answer that muna, yes, sometimes may cheat days ako. It's inevitable. We're human, diba? So what does a cheat day look like? Usually, Chinese food. My family loves Chinese
Sarap.
food. Yun pa naman yung mahirap yun kasi may yang chow fried rice ka na, may mga sweet sour pork ka, things like that. Those are all high ingredient stuff that are fried and So, sobra-sobra yung calories niya. Okay? But, besides a cheat day, guys, wag niyo akong gayahin din. Minsan lang. But like, it's mostly cheat meals talaga. A structured, lalo na when I'm trying to drop weight or get cut, I use cheat meals lang ako. So a cheat meal would probably look like a burger or like a few slices of pizza, things that I'm actually craving for, like a small serving of something. Syempre, cheat meal lang siya. At the same time, what people can do is that, for example, if you have a structured cheat meal, ginagawa ko, I save some of my calories from the weekday leading up to that day na kakainin ko yung cheat meal ko para enjoy naman ako. Parang ganun. So, basically, ipon mo calories mo until a certain day na, okay, pwede ko na siyang i-enjoy. Ganun. It magbabalance out naman siya.
So, yung pinakamahirap talaga is prolonging the motivation, di ba? Madaling magsabi na, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna eat right. Pero what is your advice for me and other people na nahihirapan i-prolong yung motivation when it comes to working out?
In order of difficulty kasi niyan, I'm sure a lot of people would agree, is number 1 is the diet. It's the hardest. Number 2 is the cardio. People hate doing cardio. Parang it's such a chore. And number 3 is a lot of people enjoy lifting weights. Yun yung pinaka less hassle sa tatlo. But they're all hassle kasi syempre, exercise siya and sacrifice siya. Now, what people normally do kasi is they do too much too soon. Okay? Like, okay, diet starts tomorrow, no rice. Okay? So, ang hirap naman nun, you're setting yourself up for failure. What people should focus on is to make more small changes over time, pero mas sustainable yung approach. Kasi if you do too much too soon, you're gonna run the risk of burning out. So that's why when I coach people, I set them at a certain calorie range, mataas pa, with generous amounts of fat and carbs para hindi naman agad-agad na okay, burnt out na ako after 2 weeks or after 1 week. Kasi guys, seryoso, like a real transformation, a really nice transformation, a sustainable one happens within mga a month to 3 months, mga ganyan, depending on your starting point. But walang sobrang gandang transformations within like a week or 2, mga ganyan. Don't expect that to happen. So, think of the long game. You have the mindset na, okay, this is gonna be a long process. At the same time, you have to be sustainable in your approach. So, if you guys are there in the States and bago to sa inyo, look up flexible dieting, tracking your macros, things like that. Kasi guys, that has been the most effective way that I've found for me in order for me to sustain my body. And yan yung mga ginagawa ko to my clients and that's why they get great results. It's because they don't cut out the things that they love at the same time, hindi nila binibigla na, okay, no rice, okay, all vegetables, something like that.
I'm gonna be vegan.
No. Or keto, diba?
Oo nga. Keto is very big, diba?
Yes.
Dito, especially. Speaking of coaching, you have online coaching. Tell us more about that. What could a person expect kapag nagpapa-online coach sa'yo?
I actually based it off from US coaching style now. So if you want to get me, this is similar to the service that you can get there in the US. Kasi in 2018, I started my business as a online coach nga, and nakita ko how they did it sa States. So I created my own method with my own twist, syempre with my own tips. Kasi a lot of these online coaches in the States will give you, like, let's say, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Walang, more of application rather than feel. Ako kasi, kaya, syempre, I'm doing this, most of my clients are Filipino. It's because I know what it's like to be a Filipino, you know, yung gatherings, yung family, yung temptation. Yan ang kalaban natin as Filipinos.
Very true.
I have my tips for people who, you know, mga Filipinos who are struggling with things like that, with addressing the family. So, basically my online coaching is it's very hands-free na coaching style. No, I don't tell you, oh, eat this, eat that, eat that, eat that. What I do is I teach you how to track your macros and count calories. Then I give you a calorie allowance and a macro allowance, parang ganon. So I don't tell you what to eat, ikaw bahala sa kakainin mo. It's more of heavy siya sa diet, no, yung coaching ko. With some training na rin. Pero I tell you what the number, I give you the numbers. Let's say this is your allotted calories and this is how much you should be burning per entire week. But ang gagawin ko is, for example, okay, Isa, you have 2,000 calories today or 1,500. Ikaw bahala to hit that, something like that. Ikaw bahala to hit that. Just show me what you ate by the end of the night, something like that. Ganon yung coaching ko. So I just check what they eat, and if they're they're doing it correctly, I track their weight every day. We track the food intake, we track the exercise. So it's basically shared accountability. It's a lot of tracking. So walang lusot. Walang lusot yung clients.
Kasi mapagsasabihan man na, oh, hindi ka nag-exercise or masyadong mataba.
Nakikita ko
Yes.
So kunyari, tsaka may remarks tab pa ako doon. And doon mo sasabihin if may ginawa kang hindi dapat or may kinain kang sobra-sobra. So wala talaga siyang lusot. That's why it works so well for my clients. If you want to see some of the transformations, meron sa IG highlights ko.
Yes.
And I have a few notable people. May mga kilala na rin akong, let's say, medyo celebrities na coach, ganyan. So, that's the secret It makes it more sustainable rather than just me telling you, oh, steamed chicken ka lang, sweet potato and veggies for 3 months. Diba? Parang, oh my God.
Parang ayoko na kagad.
Ayoko na. Yeah. Then when it comes to that, we work based off what equipment you have and what you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be like, for example, okay, I'm gonna tell you to lift weights, Isa, magbuhat ka, bawal na hindi. Parang di naman gano'n. We work with what you have and what you want to do. Pero syempre, ideally, mas maganda kung may form of exercise. Diba?
Definitely.
So, I've coached a lot of people in the States actually. Nahanap nila ako through Instagram before YouTube. So, ayun. And yung maganda, advantage for the people who are living in the States is that, again, yung calorie counting is much easier. Macro tracking is easier. Your food, you have low-calorie stuff of things in the groceries. You have zero-calorie drinks. Stuff we don't have here. So, meron nga kayo dyan yung parang butter na, it's not butter, but it's basta.
Oh, yeah. I have that butter. Ang dami ng klase ng butter dito.
Diba?
So,
and
yes.
Masarap siya diba? It's a good alternative.
Yeah.
We don't have things like that here. So, that's one huge advantage. That's why it works so well for my clients in the States. It's because you have all the food that tastes good but have little calories. Even yung simple ketchup nyo, you have less sugar ketchup, which
Yeah.
actually tastes quite the same with less calories. Yun naman yung secret, guys. You make your food delicious without having to sacrifice a lot of calories. So, syempre, you're gonna cook most of your meals. And sa States, grabe, I can spend hours in your groceries just looking at the labels. I swear I do that. The last time I was there, talagang my parents were pinapauwi na nila ako. Titingnan ko kasi isa-isa.
Where did you visit?
Last visit was 2018, East Coast.
Okay.
But 2015, San Francisco naman.
Okay.
Way before, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've been to California once, then sa East mga twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Twice.
Yeah, hindi ko na-realize how at an advantage kami.
Yes,
Diba?
sobra.
Hindi ko na-realize kasi when you think of America, parang feeling ko, it's people think that America's always like fattening food and fast food and all that.
Which is true.
Very true. Pero hindi ko na-realize, oh my gosh, ang dami nga naming choices when it comes to food.
Double-edged sword pa rin siya. Kasi you have all these, like mga super-sized meals that I would personally love to eat. Pero, ayun, it goes hand in hand. You have all those healthy things and you have all those unhealthy.
Super unhealthy, nako. And everything in the middle as well.
Yeah.
Hindi ko na-realize yun. And I mean, we have groceries specifically for vegans and vegetarian, no gluten, mga ganon.
Mahirap to be vegetarian here in the Philippines kasi yung protein mo pa lang kulang na. And alam ko, there in the States, they have a lot of high-protein vegetarian options and things like that. So, yun pa lang. Diba?
Yes. Lalo na dito sa San Francisco, a lot of people are very conscious about that.
Yeah.
There's a big vegan community. So they have specific grocery stores. We have farmers market every Sunday. So talagang alam mong fresh yung mga tinitinda nila. And I'm so excited that you, since it's online coaching, you are available to coach here dito sa mga FIL-AMs and FIL-Canadians as well. Yung mga rates mo, how do we figure that out? Paano namin malalaman kung magkano siya and all that?
So, it depends kasi per person and the goal per person. Because, it's just like giving a certain person, for example, what do you want to happen and what's your time frame? Something like that. So I cannot just give it out now. Okay, for you, you're going to be this rate, this rate, this rate. When you email, actually, lately, sobrang daming emails lately and na-overwhelm ako, no? But iisa-isahin ko naman sila. It's just na when YouTube blew up, when a certain video blew up, the demand was so high na, oh my God, I didn't even realize na, oh my God, ganito palang, ang dami nag-email, ganyan. Now, I tell them naman na, okay, currently full, ganyan. If I'm full or not, sa slots ko, ganyan. Pero, what people do is they usually tell me their time frame, they tell me what they want to happen, and then I give my rates. Tapos, I specifically love, honestly, coaching the people in the States kasi nga, they can create some recipes talaga na I cannot even create here na with low calories, parang ganyan. That taste good. That's why, make delicious food na with lower calories, and for sure, you're gonna be losing weight and you're gonna be healthier. Ganyan.
Yeah, and you don't have to always just have steamed chicken and broccoli and all that.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Nako, I'm sure a lot of our listeners dito sa FIL-AM Radio, they're gonna check you out and message you and all that. Tell them your handle, social media, how can we follow you?
So guys, my Instagram is jacob.alava. That's Alava, and my YouTube is the same, Jacob space Alava lang. So you guys watch my videos kasi I really take time to make them. Like, the process is, I honestly used to think that being a YouTuber was easy, but no, it's so hindi pala. Because you have to, I do everything for now. Ako pa lahat gumagawa, editing, shooting, content creation. So you have to create the content, so I have to think about it, and may research involved because I don't want to be spewing bro science naman, diba? So you research and content, then you film, and minsan may mga background noises pa and things like that. So you film and you edit and you put the necessary titles and tags and thumbnails, things like that. So I really put effort into my videos, and you guys watch it because some of my US clients, that's how they found me, through my YouTube videos. So tinataglish ko. I do have a lot of English videos, pero medyo hindi gusto ng mga Filipino viewers ko kasi nano-nosebleed daw sila minsan. So ayun, check out my YouTube channel. I'm sure you will learn something there. Guaranteed, yeah, you will learn something.
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat, and I hope you come back here on FIL-AM Radio. Maraming salamat.
Thank you for having me.